our testy pod. So, our first one.
That's the title.
The testy pod. Some might call it a trailer. We will call it a testy.
TM.
Okay, here's a little context, a little bit of a set. I'm gonna set the scene. Close your eyes. Here's the scene. Wake up, 6:30, 6:35,
6:20.
6:20.
I
Jess's
got up
alarm,
at
6:20. My alarm, 6:30. What was your alarm this morning?
6:15.
6:15. She's gotta take care of the cat. Okay, she's a working woman.
The log.
Okay, so wake up 6:15 to 6:30. Lay in bed. Do the New York Times Daily Mini Crossword.
If you're not doing it, you're wrong.
I
Maybe.
didn't do it, so I'm wrong.
You're wrong for
I actually
that.
haven't done it today, but I do it. I do it every day.
But I fed the cat.
True.
But she fed the cat, so there we go.
It evens out.
Then go to morning yoga. That's right.
You heard it here.
7
We
a.m.
did do a morning flow.
7 a.m. morning yoga flow. Little yoga class.
Sunrise.
Little
Sunrise
sunrise yoga moment, except for it's not sunrise at 7 a.m. But it was very nice. What'd you guys think?
I really liked it. I almost passed out. I got really lightheaded doing mountain pose. We kept going forward fold,
7.
up to mountain pose, and I got very lightheaded.
Go halfway, straighten your spine,
And
release, and go up
She
to
said,
mountain
make sure your
pose.
spine is straight. Every single.
Tuck your tailbone in, bring your ribs.
It was
That's
good though
so hard
because
for me.
I was by the mirror, so
Yes,
I would,
I
look over
did.
and
I did
check.
need to look in the mirror.
Yeah.
My spine has never once been straight in my life. I do.
Since fetus position,
No, literally.
you've been curved.
No, that's
No,
true.
we did the
I
happy-
can't. And I'll look in the mirror and I'll see, and I'm like, oh, this is what I have to do to fix it. And I try to change my body, and it's like, it just stops.
We did the happy baby, and I was like, my
Uh-huh.
body shouldn't be in this position, actually, because it hurts my back.
Yeah, no, whenever they're like, keep your lower spine, when I lay,
Wait, I was
when I
thinking
lay
about
flat on the ground, my lower back is not on the
I
ground.
know, you gotta go like,
No, I was actually
Yes.
thinking about that. I was like, is it?
Is it supposed to be?
I was literally laying on the ground thinking that. I was like, I was thinking about asking you guys.
I was laying dead flat, boop, right under my
I was
lower
like,
back.
is it bad that my lower back does not touch the ground when I'm laying down?
You have to,
is it
like,
supposed
You have to
be
like
down?
push. You have to
But
like
I
push.
feel like,
I feel like that's
it's
part
like-
of the core breathing.
but
You know
what
when they
about
like tuck your
butt?
tailbone, it's like tailbone goes up, ribs go in, makes it flatter. But I think that's like you have to practice. You have to like.
You have to practice
Yeah.
it, and it protects your, like, whole back if you do it.
I'm sure.
But if you don't,
But I'm
Yeah.
just confused. What about your butt?
whatever. Your
What
butt
about
doesn't
it?
have
Your butt-
bones in it.
But it makes it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Oh, like go up?
Like
yeah,
this.
You have to actively do it, like,
Oh,
all of
no.
the time.
My lower back is not on the ground right now.
No, mine never is.
Oh,
God.
mine
See, look.
Curve your hips. Like, so
God.
your lower
It
back
is-
touches.
it
But
is
that,
core.
yeah, that activates your core, and that's like what's good, especially for Pilates,
Oh my gosh.
which we do on Tuesdays.
Even then. Oh, it is on. I need to do this for like 10 minutes a day. Just lay.
So if you also lay down flat and your back is not touching the ground,
Work on it.
work on it. Apparently, Maisie said, "Yeah, you have to work at it."
Because I have bruised my tailbone too many times, guys.
What? How does that relate?
Because if you're on your
back's not
tailbone,
touching-
then yeah.
Yeah. If your tailbone's touching the ground when you're doing all that, it's not good.
She's sitting on the couch demonstrating. laying down.
With my hands under my...
So anyway, we had a great yoga flow this morning. Oh, I think it was very nice.
I think we need to introduce ourselves.
I was just about to say
Then
that.
had okay.
Okay. My name is Maisie. I like cats. I am the sound master.
Hello, this is me. My name is Jess. Oh, well, actually, here's a fun fact. My name is Jessica, but I do prefer to be called Jess. But every single time, consistently, that I introduce myself to someone, I still say Jessica. So right now, I'm being very intentional to say Jess.
There's a rice on
So
the
you
table.
better not call her Jessica.
Yeah, because I hate it.
Okay, I'm Morgan. I have no fun facts about myself. I also like cats. I also like dogs. Well, because Maisie said she can't be the one who likes cats because we all like cats.
That's true.
But I'm not like cats for life. Dogs suck.
Yeah.
I just like animals.
It was just funny the way you said it.
I like
cats.
I like
I also like dogs.
baby dogs when they have smooth brain are okay.
Yes, but Maisie can be known as the cat one because she owns a cat.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we do not. Jess and I live together at the moment.
The mermaid.
And we own no pets.
Unfortunately.
But big news, big things coming. Jess and Maisie will soon be living together
With the cat.
without me. They don't like me. They
We
got
kicked
rid of
her
me.
out, actually.
It's not true. Don't believe the rumors.
I'm feeding into the rumors.
We need to start some drama here. How else do you get clicks, likes, and engagement?
We start a podcast solely based on the fact that we're all three beefing.
Yeah. Manufactured beef.
We
It's a drama. It's a drama podcast.
Podcast, and we're like, hey, it's only Maisie here. Let me
Yes.
see the tea.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's like confessionals.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that would be a funny bit. We should do
We
that.
should.
It's
do
like
it.
during the week.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. And then it's like
Midweek,
updates.
we
And
put
then
them together.
we listen back on Sunday and be like, you said this about me.
Yes. We need to do that.
You said when we were hanging out on Tuesday that you actually wanted to sit in the front seat. And you actually always sit in the front seat.
Speaking of cats, my mom has some barn cats.
Oh, yes. We need to
And-
hear this story. We got a little preview and we said, Maisie, stop talking. You need to say this on the podcast.
Shut your mouth right now. But basically, they're little barn cats, but they're not little. They're actually fucking huge, and they're like 20 pounds. And
How'd they grow so much?
they've just always been big.
Were they kittens?
No, they just
Oh.
picked them up off the street.
I thought
But-
they were kittens.
Yeah, no, they're not. They're big orange cats, and one is named Hobart, and Hobart is blind in one eye, and his eye is actually fucking disgusting. Love him, but I feel really bad, and it's been oozing, so...
Oh, God.
They took him to the vet, and the vet was like, yeah, that eyeball's gotta come out. So my mom was
It's
like,
gotta go.
when you're home, you need to take the cat to get the eyeball out, because I don't want the cat to not like me, but it's
Like
okay
it?
if it doesn't like you.
Oh my god.
And I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And then she informed me, why would she do this? That last time she took it to the vet, it went actually fucking crazy and was like biting and scratching everybody. So I'll keep you updated.
Oh, my gosh. How could she?
But I gotta get its eye out.
But its eye does need to go.
And the eye will be scooped out.
Just one?
Yes.
Will it be able to see a little bit?
A little bit. Halfway.
I feel like I've known cats with only one eye and they're fine. They're
Yeah.
regular. Until they get old, and they just go blind like regular. Like regular old cats, but...
We should explain our definition of regular, because I feel like our definition of regular is not what the actual...
No, that's actually so funny because I didn't realize how much I said regular and how much meaning it truly does have until my sister said something about it. And she was like, yeah, my sister says regular. And was like explaining it to other people. I was like, I do?
What did she say to other people?
Well, I told you. Basically, okay, so my sister...
But, like, how did she explain it?
Well, she just said, like... Okay, so here's a little bit of context to introduce regular, and then we'll say more about it. Okay, so my sister was talking to other people, internet friends, and basically, whenever they're feeling very much so not normal, or, like, they're feeling some type of way about something, they'll say, I feel so normal, to mean I'm feeling not normal. But then she said, my sister says regular instead of normal, and so now they will say, I'm feeling so normal, regular even. It's like the next stage of normal.
Not normal.
It's like they're feeling so normal, they're even feeling regular, which is like they're feeling very, very, very not normal. So,
But
what's
our
regular?
version of regular is
It's
very
us.
specific to us.
yeah, regular is our standard.
It's-
We are all regular and everyone else is a freak.
Yeah, everybody's a freak, and if they don't think like us, they're not being regular. And why can't they just be regular? But basically, I think the true origins of this were back when we took a little trip to a little cabin in the middle of a little bit of nowhere.
No, truly the middle of
A
nowhere.
little bit of nowhere.
A little bit of nowhere, and we were playing a game, and we couldn't stop playing said game,
hours
and
and
there's
hours.
food involved in it, and there's different types of meat, and basically we kept calling the beef regular meats.
Okay, well, because it's a progression. So the first recipe you make has meat. And so you're like, okay, I need meat, rice, and a tortilla. But then later on, more meat gets introduced, but you've been calling it meat the whole time. But then later it's like, oh, there's beef, there's chicken, whatever. But you've been calling it meat. So then you're like, I need meat. And somebody's like, what meat? And you're like, the regular meat. The regular one that I've been calling meat this whole time. And then if you need something else, then you say. Chicken. If you need chicken, you say, I need chicken. Not, I need meat. What kind chicken? No. If you say, I need meat, it's regular meat.
It's regular meat.
And so now everything is regular.
And then people would just be fucking freaks. And we're like, why can't they just be regular?
Literally just be regular.
Literally be
our
regular.
Standard is regular.
Yes. And that's what, there's some people are regular about some things, and they are the girls who get it. And the girls who don't are freaks. You're one of two things in this world, regular or a freak.
Subcategory, little freak.
And if you listen to this pod and you relate to the things that we're saying, congratulations, you're regular. If you don't agree with something, that's fine. You're just a freak.
I know.
So Jess can do a little bit of background on our friendship.
Morgan's a year older than me, and we met in college when I was freshman, she was sophomore. And then we just like knew each other, had
mutual
friends.
Yeah.
We're in similar circles.
Hung out in groups.
Yeah, hung out in groups, and then basically didn't really hang out that much. Like fall semester, not really at all. In groups, mutual settings. Spring semester, like a little bit more, like a little tiny bit more, in smaller groups.
Yeah, we had like a core friend group, and we were both a part of that core friend group, but we never hung out alone.
Individually.
Yeah. Ever.
In the summer of my freshman year, Morgan and I went to do seasonal work
in Colorado
for the summer. And Morgan was going to be late. She was like later than the rest of us who went. She flew in from somewhere else. And I got there, got all my stuff. I go to my room. There's like dorms because we were working housekeeping. It was like staff dorms, whatever. And I get to my room and it says Morgan and Jessica and
two other people, which RIP them. But that's
I was like, oh my gosh. I texted Morgan. I was like, oh my gosh. Then one of the name on my door is Morgan, and she was like, yeah, I actually did put your name as my preferred roommate.
Like, you could request roommates, or you could just leave it blank, and this was literally months before. This was probably in February.
When we did not know each other.
We had never hung out alone. We had only been around groups, and barely even.
Yeah.
Like, we weren't even in that closer, because it was, like, early in the semester. But I was like, well, she's the only person I know who's also going. Like, I might as well put someone I know.
So, yeah, then she was like, yeah, I did that. And I was like, okay, work. And then we spent the whole summer together, hung out all the time.
That truly is the rest of history.
That is the rest of history.
Yeah, we literally, I was the top bunk.
Yeah.
Jess was the bottom bunk. We shared a closet. We shared a dresser.
And then the rest is history.
Came back. Worked together. We were in housekeeping. Hung out together. Went hiking together.
Got lost.
Truly did get lost.
Saw the most dead thing I've ever seen.
So it was an adventurous summer, and basically, like, we did know some other people were there, like, we knew of them, but we weren't, like, friends with them. So, like, we were super close that whole summer, and then basically when we came back, we had become really close, so we're, like, basically integrated our lives together then, like, coming back to, like, oh, now we have our other friends and stuff, but now we're really close, so we, like, integrated our, like, social circles.
The way me and Morgan met was through glass class.
Yes. Okay, let me reiterate. Glass class, yes, we are art majors, and there is literally a glass blowing and, like, sculpting class. Like, literally glass. The title of the class is glass, which confuses people sometimes. So that's how we met.
And it got a little freaky, to say the least.
Literally the first day, there was 5 people on our class, first of all. That is worth noting. The first day, to blow glass, like, typically you need partners, and so he kind of introduced that the first day, our professor, and he was like, so, like, in a few weeks, you're gonna need a partner to be able to blow glass with whatever. Literally, Maisie and I drifted towards each other, and we're like, hey, wanna be partners? Yeah, wanna be partners? Yeah. We're like, okay, phew, because everyone else in that class is a freak.
They are.
And we were like, we cannot be partners with them. And Maisie and I had never talked. We just got a vibe. We knew.
And then we didn't talk for like 3 weeks.
We didn't talk because we didn't need partners until like weeks later, but then the partner day came, and we're like, okay, are we still good to be partners? And we were like, yeah. We're like, okay, thank God, because...
Looking very nervously at each other,
No,
being
we're
like,
like,
oh my God, we're just still gonna do
I hope
that?
she's still down.
And then, yeah, we were glass partners, and then Maisie started driving me home, or I started driving Maisie? I can't remember which way.
I don't know.
We drove together to class, and then maybe we just sit in the car in the driveway for like 30 minutes after class every time and talk about politics, talk about our freak professor, talk about the freaks in our class. And then eventually we graduated to like going to get coffee, going to get dinner.
It was a
And,
timeline.
the rest is history, of course.
Oh, but then Morgan and Jess have been friends for a bit.
A bit,
I
yes.
was the freak who came into the group, but then Morgan went away for the summer.
Yes,
she
that's
went
true.
away. She
I went
got.
away. I was
sent
living
somewhere.
in Colorado for the summer,
She was sent away.
doing some seasonal work over the summer in Colorado. So Maisie and I just didn't talk for a few months.
We would text like once a month.
Literally, like
Like,
send
how
a
are
TikTok
you?
or
Yeah.
something.
But then when she came back, I came over to her house.
And Jess is here.
And
She
Jess
lives
is
here at my apartment.
She lives here in my apartment in the basement.
Morgan owns it.
And then I was like a little bug, and I just came and crawled into their apartment and was like, I'm gonna be here.
Which bugs do crawl into our apartment?
I don't know if we can talk about that right now.
I'll throw up.
But Maisie was one of those bugs.
I was one of the bugs.
But then she seamlessly integrated. And here's the key to a 3-way relationship is
We need to title this,
because
actually.
Jess and
Title,
I,
Our Three-Way
Jess and I are
Relationship.
besties, and we've known each other for like longer, and lived together. But like I became friends with Maisie, and then Maisie like came into that. But then Maisie and Jess became friends. Like they had a class together. They text way more than I text either of them.
Yeah, that is true. We text like every day.
Yeah.
And then Morgan texts this group chat only.
Yes. And only details.
Morgan's
Never a
not a
conversation.
texter,
I'm not
okay?
a texter. So we all have our own dynamics.
It's true.
Like Jess and I have our own relationship, Maisie and I have our own relationship, Maisie and Jess have their own relationship, and then we work really well
It's true.
collectively. And so that is truly the key to being friends.
Yes.
A 3.
The first time me and
A
Jess
three-way-
hung out
a three-way
alone was
relationship.
because we were all supposed to hang out, and Morgan was like, I actually have to babysit or something, and me and Jess were like,
Okay.
What was that? What did we do? When?
I don't know.
Is that when we went to eat?
I don't think it was when we went to eat. I think we had hung out before that alone, but it was one of
What
that
did-
was
we
another
probably played
time.
Switch.
Probably
Something.
We just
I don't even remember.
Morgan's
Watch
like,
videos?
I have to
Yeah,
go.
I think we probably
it
did.
was videos.
Yeah.
And
Oh my
God.
Wait.
Wait, we actually
I
are
know, we like each
regular.
other. We're
We
regular.
like each other.
But yeah,
And now we're moving.
this is our 3-way
together.
relationship. I'm trying.
Yeah, and it's progressed because now I'll be the third person.
Morgan's going to do more seasonal work.
I
for
am
the
going to
summer.
do more seasonal work in California this time instead of Colorado. And Jess and Maisie are moving to Columbus, Ohio.
And she'll be our travel correspondent.
I'll be the correspondent on the ground.
You may be worried that this will be the only episode, but it won't be because
But we're committed.
We have a setup. We have
We're committed.
a
to the
plan for when we are apart.
And like theoretically it'd be a weekly podcast because we debrief the week. But that may happen
Not happen.
every week, and it may happen every week. Who knows? Who's to say?
We're probably to say, but we're not.
Or not saying because we don't know.
We get one listen. We'll do it every week.
No, that's true. Henceforth, a podcast. And we're like, okay, if we're gonna have a podcast, I feel like every friend group does that. You know, they have a really good conversation. They're like, oh my gosh, like we should have started a podcast.
But we did.
But yeah, we did. We're just committing to it because why not? And I personally am ready to make it my personality. So we made a podcast, but okay, what's the premise gonna be? You gotta have something. We can't truly just be talking into the void. So we called it Sunday Morning Debrief because at the end of the week, you want to get together with your besties and just say, hey, here's what happened. Literally, this is Maisie and I's whole friendship. This is how we became friends.
Yeah.
Is literally we would get coffee on Fridays and be like, so here was my whole week.
Yes.
And then just literally spew about, one of us would spew, and then the other person would be like, oh my god, yeah. And then the other person, here's my whole week. And they would literally just spew. So that's kind of the vibe of this podcast.
Spewing.
Spewing. We'll just all get together, talk about things that came up throughout the week, things that we need to share, things that we need to discuss. A little debrief of the week, of the friends, for the listeners. And that's the whole concept.
If we get some listeners who love us and would like us to talk about something specific,
Yes.
we can.
Oh, trust us. We can talk about anything.
Lots of stories. We can talk about anything. Oh my god, this is not on topic, but as I've been applying to some jobs, I keep seeing this one, and I don't know what it is, and it's called Scrum Master, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like, what is that? And I click on it, and I just stop reading it because it's too complicated. So I would like to be a Scrum Master.
First, we have to figure out what it is.
You can be the Scrum Master of this podcast.
I'm the Scrum Master. If that's not good,
then I'm not.
Redact that.
If it's good, I am. If it's not, I'm not. I never said that.
I think we need to do the last little bit, which Maisie is going to take over. We're going to have a recurring segment, a recurring bit, if you will, on the pod. Basically, just to keep some coherence. What's the right word? Consistency from pod to pod. We'll have this bit at the end. Maisie, go.
Okay. It's going to be every week we're going to review commercials that we've seen because we are YouTube whores and cannot stop watching YouTube, so we unfortunately have to see ads all of the time.
We don't have ad blocker on, and we do not pay for YouTube Premium or whatever it is.
And I also watch Hulu and have not Hulu Premium, so I also see the ads on there.
That's true.
And Hulu is the pit of hell, to be honest. As far as ads, I mean, Hulu in general is the pit of hell, but the ads are actually the worst.
Yes. And it sucks because they have shows that I want to watch.
But we all obviously are very similar in our consumption and views, so we all get the same ads, and we get them incessantly. So there are ads that will come on, and we can recite the whole ad word for word and do the sound effects with it. And so this bit kind of spurred out of that. Like, we talk about them because they plague us. And so we're going to talk about them on here so they can plague you as well.
Okay, I'm going to plague you with... I was going to say specifically the actor Liberty Mutual ad where he's like, Liberty. I want to blow this place up every time I see it. But any Liberty Mutual ad, because I am bombarded with them and I can't take it.
Yes.
Liberty Mutual has done the opposite of what they want, and now I will never, ever, ever get that insurance.
Liberty.
Because I don't want to think about it.
Bow, bow,
But yeah,
bow,
here's my qualms with the actor one. I don't know if you all know what we're talking about, but I'm going to assume you have. Or you assume you do. But the actor one is just so fucking infuriating after the, I don't know, second time you hear it.
And now we're probably on 200.
Yeah, it's really bad. But my sculpture professor said that he taught the guy who's in that ad.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how true that is. My sculpture teacher's old. But he said he did. So I guess that gives it 1 point up.
1 point up, 2
rating
points
scale,
down.
but it can't be 1 through 10.
No, I feel like for me personally, my rating scale for commercials and how I live my life is a thumbs up or thumbs down. Like, either it's a yes from me or it's a no from me. Like, I don't care about commercials. I don't think they have any purpose in our life. So if I hate it and I wish it wasn't on, it's a thumbs down. And if I'm like, this is fine, it can be on my screen, it's a thumbs up. And that's for me personally my rating scale.
Okay, I'm giving it a double thumbs down because I hate that commercial so bad.
Wow. Yeah, it's definitely a thumbs down for me. I don't like the Liberty Mutual commercials.
It is a thumbs down, but I do sing along.
But you have to.
I recite.
It's a coping mechanism.
True.
Wait, what is it called when you like your captor?
Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah, we got Stockholm Syndrome.
For Liberty Mutual. For commercials in general, because I will recite every one. If I know the words to it, which I will because I get them 1,000,000 times, I will say the words every time.
We should say something about leaving us the little comments about topics that we can discuss, because right now we're speaking into the void with no thought.
Yes.
No forethought whatsoever.
Yes. Okay,
How
and here's...
can I leave little comments, though?
On Anchor, there's a link that you can include they can leave voice messages.
Ooh,
and
fun.
then if we get at least 100 listeners, maybe we can start a little Patreon.
Yes,
Maybe
a little
crazy.
$1 Patreon. Who? Why not?
$1.
Why not?
$1 for little bonuses.
Also, we can say anything behind the paywall, almost. And we will.
And we will.
And we're going to redact things on here that we won't say on here, but put it on the Patreon. But
do we need an Insta?
Yes.
What pictures are we going to be
Here's the
posting?
thing, though. We will be a podcast that uses Twitter, because
Twitter essential.
5 to 4
I
is
don't use
superior for- using
Twitter,
Twitter.
and I think Twitter is essential for a podcast.
Yes, Binchtopia doesn't have a Twitter, and I beef with them.
I guess this is a shout out. I guess this can be kind of, we're gonna wrap up here, I guess.
Yeah.
Here are some of our podcasting influences, and highly, highly, highly recommend you listen to. Number 1, 5 to 4. If I could only listen to one podcast for the rest of my life, it'd be 5 to 4.
Yes.
This is important. This is essential because we will be talking about them in the future because they are a key part of our life.
No, literally they are.
The parasocial relationship we have with them is very important on our relationship level. It's very important on an intellectual level.
It's true.
It was what started the podcast disease that we would spread
True.
amongst each other.
Yes,
because that
that's
was
true.
the first one that Morgan recommended to me, and then I recommended the second one, Binchtopia, to them. And then it was just an illness from there.
It is an illness that persists. So I think those are our main shared podcasts.
And pick me up.
But Jess isn't on that grind yet, so we can't
I
mention
know.
it yet.
I have listened to one. I watched her TikTok.
We'll redact
so
that
I like her.
name and we'll put it. We'll save it for later. But we will link 5 to 4 and Binchtopia.
And maybe
in the
they'll
show
give us
notes.
a shouty, but I doubt it.
They won't, but it's I want anyone who listens to this podcast should listen to 5 to 4.
Yes.
I firmly believe that.
So true.
I think every person on the planet should listen to 5 to 4. But that's just me.
And that gives you our political stance as well.
Yes, it does.
It
Yes,
will
it
tell
does.
you something about us.
Not that you won't know from listening. I think you'll be able
It
to
will be
determine
pretty clear.
as we continue on in our conversations. Many of them are politically minded. Many of them are
Let's just say
if you are not regular,
you'll know.
you'll know. Yeah.
Maybe you should do some reflection
And I'll send it to my sister
and make her.
because she is not a part of my. She's sidelined. She's not a part of my main social circle. I will not be sending this to anyone I would call a friend.
Yeah, I will not be sending this to
If you know me, no, you don't.
Exactly. But if I send it to my sister, she can send it to people that I also don't know,
and it's fine.
and that's fine. Testy Pod 1.
We out.
We out. What if that wasn't recording?
It
God,
was.
that'd be terrible.
It was.
Okay. We need more police.
We need to cut that in because those need to be future ones because they truly.
Yes, I will cut it.
But
Be the scrum.
okay, we did
Scrum
it.
Master.